This is NDTV. And you're watching Ndtv-Hindu.
There you have it, the grand finale to this edition of the Commonwealth Games, to India's edition of the Commonwealth Games. A proud moment for us all. A very good evening to all of you. You're watching the one show that gives you a 360-degree view of developments that affect you, that impact you, and that influence you. Well, the one event that has touched all of us in one way or the other, the Commonwealth Games, is coming to a close. It's just been one of those events, whether you like them or you hate them, you just can't ignore them. And one person who has been tracking every moment of the Games has been our sports reporter Natasha. She will get us all the action from the sports world. But it's been an eventful day for more than just one reason. The death threats to former Chief Minister and current leader of opposition Jayalalitha have continued unabated. Peer Mohammed, our senior correspondent, will shed some more light about these threats and political repercussions more importantly. And finally, crime wave. How appropriate are these two words to describe the spurt in criminal activities in our city? Our crime reporter will tell us more about that. That's Salim for you. A very good evening once again, and you're watching Headlines now with me, Ashmit Kumar, on NDTV-Hindu. Our reporters will get you the latest on all of those developments in just a little while. But first, let's take a look at the headlines. 3 separate incidents of murder within the span of one day rocked the city. Are we seeing a spurt in criminal activities? Jayalalitha is hit with 4 more death threats just a day after Jaya TV releases audio of phone call threat. Pro-Tamil leaders condemn the CWG invite to Rajapakse. Vaiko and 250 other protesting MDMK cadres are arrested. A neurosurgeon outsmarts kidnappers and manages an escape, files a complaint with the Vellore police.
கூடிய விரைவில் 2 அல்லது 3 நாட்களில் இவ்வழக்கில் குற்றவாளி பிடிபடுவார்.
NDTV-Hindu exposes the increasing Kuruvi trafficking from Sri Lanka, liquor smuggling in full swing. Does this indicate a compromise on aviation safety?
ஆமா. டாக்டர் என்ன பிராண்ட் வேணும் உங்களுக்கு? பிளாக் லேபிள் வேணுமா? ரெட் லேபிள் வேணுமா? கோட் லேபிள் வேணுமா? எவ்வளவு ரேட்? 2000 வரும்.
And get ready for an action-packed weekend at the theatres. A host of action movies await you at the big screen. Well, those were some of the stories from in and around your city. Let's also take a look at what's happening around the country. In yet another win for Yedurappa, the BJP has won the trust vote with 106 votes. Saina Nehwal's goal takes India back in second place. Saina scripts history as first Indian women badminton player to bag a gold. Lalit Modi is in for a rude shock. The Enforcement Directorate issues letter for revoking his passport. After the pitch, Sachin now dominates the rankings. Tendulkar is now the world's #1 test batsman. The Maharaja gets a breather finally. Air India's financial statement tilts towards green territory. Now, receiving death threats is increasingly becoming a norm for the leader of opposition Jayalalitha. Today, 4 separate fresh threats were made to Jayalalitha's life. This takes the total of threats to 15, with nearly half of them coming after the CBI was asked to intervene. These threats come on the back of the AIADMK releasing the audio of a phone call threat made last afternoon. The voice, spiced with a strong Sri Lankan accent, has threatened Jayalalitha from going ahead with her rally in Madurai on 18th of October. Many of death threat letters are coming from people claiming to be supporters of Alagiri. Interestingly now, Madurai is considered as the stronghold of the DMK strongman. Now, for more on this, we'll go across to our senior correspondent, Peer Mohammed, who's joining us live now. Now, Peer, we've seen now today the tally goes up to 15 death threat letters. Yet we see a common thread where all of them are indicating that Jayalalitha should stay wary of Madurai, and that pretty much all of them are claiming to be supporters of Alagiri. Put this in context for us. Give us some perspective on this.
Ashmit, the main opposition AIDMK in the run-up to the assembly elections, which are about 7 months away, has been holding rallies in different cities. The first rally, which was held in Coimbatore, was a big success and which was a big morale booster for the AIDMK cadres. Also, the next rally, the Trichy rally, Jayalalitha herself declared, "This is the biggest rally I have seen in my 28 years of public life." And also this rally in the Madurai on October 18 is going to be a big morale booster for the AIDMK cadres. That is the reason the AIDMK sees it as a intimidating, psychologically intimidating tactics from the supporters of ruling DMK. That is how the AIDMK sees it. And because the state police has not been forthcoming and investigating into the death threats, they wanted the case to be transferred to the CBI, and the Chief Minister recommended CBI to inquire into these death threats after pressure built up by the AIDMK leaders. They even met the Prime Minister and the Home Minister for recommending it to the CBI. Ashmit?
Right, Peer. Thank you for joining us with those inputs. That was again our senior correspondent, Peer Mohammed, again shedding some light and putting things in perspective for us. Moving ahead, Chennai City has witnessed 3 murders in a single day. The latest being the murder of a 38-year-old man. He was beaten to death by his nephew in a family feud. R.K. Nagar police are investigating the case. Now, last evening, a 60-year-old man was crushed to death by a 38-year-old man. The Kumaran Nagar police arrested the accused after a 2-hour drama. The accused threatened to commit suicide as the police neared him. Similarly, 5 accused, including the husband of a woman constable in Chennai, were arrested and remanded in prison for murdering a 28-year-old Shahid Ali, who allegedly misbehaved with the couple's daughter. Now, for more on these developments that we are seeing with regard to these murder cases within the span of one day, we are joined by our crime reporter, Salim, who joins us live now. Now, Salim, to again view this as a collective trend, is it fair to qualify this as perhaps a crime wave or a wave of crime that has actually gripped the city?
Yeah, when we asked the same question to the city's top cop, Mr. T. Rajendran, he very clearly said that most of these crimes are not organized. They are unorganized crime. And if you see not just these 3 murder cases, but all the murder cases in the city, most of the unorganized murder cases in the city, either the murderer or the victim are under the influence of alcohol. So the cop very clearly says that as far as Chennai is concerned, unorganized crimes may be increasing. We can only say that when we compare the statistics of 2010 to the previous year, 2009, as far as the city police are concerned, they say that the organized crimes have come down, while on the other hand, unorganized crimes may have increased in the city.
Right. Now, Salim, borrowing from what the explanation that you've offered to us right now, we see that, as you pointed out, unorganized crime has increased. Is there another common thread that is linking them, apart from perhaps personal enmities and family feuds actually contributing to this new wave of crime that we are seeing?
Yeah, of course, Ashmit. As you said, there are 2 common trends in not just these 3 murder cases, but all the murder cases that are reported in the city. One, either the victim or the murderer is known to each other in one way or the other. And secondly, in the unorganized crimes, the murderer or the victim is under the influence of alcohol. So the city police say that these are the 2 common threads that they witness in all the murder cases in the city.
Right. Thank you, Salim, so much for joining us and for again shedding some light about, is Chennai gripping, is a crime wave gripping the city of Chennai? That's the question to which Salim gave us the answers. Now, moving ahead, the leader of the MDMK, Vaiko, was arrested today for leading protests against Sri Lanka's President Mahinda Rajapakse, who is taking part in the closing ceremony of the Commonwealth Games in Delhi. Protests were also held in Chennai and other parts of Tamil Nadu against the Sri Lankan leader.
MDMK General Secretary Vaiko, leading protests in Coimbatore, accused the Indian government of endorsing the rule of President Mahinda Rajapakse in Sri Lanka. He pointed out that his government is under UN investigation for serious war crimes. Vaiko was arrested for defying a ban on protests.
ராஜபக்சேவை அழைத்து தன்னையும் தன்னுடைய கூட்டாளியான ராஜபக்சேவை காப்பதற்காக இன்றைக்கு காமன்வெல்த் போட்டிக்கு காங்கிரஸ் அரசாங்கம் அழைப்பு விடுத்திருக்கிறது. இதை மறுமலர்ச்சி திராவிட முன்னேற்றத்துடைய பொதுச் செயலாளர் தலைவர் வைகோவின் சார்பில் எங்களுடைய கடுமையான கண்டனத்தை தெரிவித்துதான் இன்றைக்கு கருப்படி ஆர்ப்பாட்டம் இன்றைக்கு நடந்திருக்கிறது.
Supporters of the VCK, an ally of the Tamil Nadu government, also protested by torching an effigy of President Rajapaksa outside Sri Lanka's diplomatic mission in Chennai. The Nam Tamilar party of filmmaker Seeman staged demonstrations outside the Chennai collectorate.
2009 மே மாதம் அந்த முள்ளிவாய்க்கால் பகுதிகளில் நடந்த கொடூரத்தை உலகமே பார்த்து கொண்டிருந்தது. இத்தனை கொடுங்கோன்மைக்கும் காரணமானவர் ராஜபக்சே.
These groups have charged Rajapaksa with widespread abuse of the minority Tamil population by the security forces, especially during the final battles with the Tamil Tiger rebels. In Chennai with Peer Mohammed, Jay Santosh for Ndtv-Hindu.
Now, requesting a friend or a relative travelling to the Middle East or Sri Lanka to pick up some duty-free liquor bottles for you is commonplace. It's in fact a general practice amongst many here. But after electronic items, liquor smuggling is now on in full swing. Sources indicate that this is being carried on with impunity with official connivance. The Kuruvis, as the carriers of contraband are called, don't just violate the law. Experts believe there could be a more dangerous spin-off, jeopardizing air safety.
Flying to Colombo has never been this easy, with rock-bottom airfares and a spurt in air traffic on this route. But the frequent flyers are not the well-heeled corporate head honchos or tourists who fancy the island nation. Look closely at these Kuruvis or contraband carriers dealing in smuggling of liquor bottles and electronic items. See for yourself how the transaction happens outside the airport. Evidently, they are carrying more liquor than the stipulated 2-litre limit. We approach one of the handlers who's ready and willing to strike a deal right away.
Sri Lanka சரக்கு கிடைக்குமா? என்ன சார்? Sri Lanka சரக்கு கிடைக்குமா? Sri Lanka சரக்கா? கொண்டு போறேன்னு சொல்லி வாங்கி வந்துட்டு போனேன். போறாங்களா? போறால பூரா தானே. எல்லாம் எவ்வளவு கிடைக்கும் சார்? விக்கிறது கேக்குறீங்களா? வீட்டுக்கு கேக்குறீங்களா? வீட்டுக்கு கொண்டு போறது கேக்குறீங்களா? ஆமா. ஸ்ரீலங்கா இந்த சரக்கு கொண்டு வருவாங்கல்ல? ஆமா. டாக்டர் என்ன பிராண்ட் வேணும் உங்களுக்கு? பிளாக் லேபிள் வேணுமா? ரெட் லேபிள் வேணுமா? கோட் லேபிள் வேணுமா? எவ்வளவு ரேட்ல? 2 ரூபா வரும், 2000 வரும். அப்படியா? அது எப்படி அங்க டியூட்டி ஃப்ரீல வாங்கிட்டு வருவாங்களா? அங்கதான் நல்ல தண்ணி.
What's more, an airport employee tells us how travelling to Sri Lanka and back is all about the booze and electronics, and government officials are also hand in glove.
காலையில ஸ்ரீலங்கா, நைட்டு ஸ்ரீலங்கான்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா டிவி தான். இந்த காலையில பார்த்தா ஒரு காலையில ஒரு டிவி வரும். அது ஏஜென்ட் நாங்கள் வெளியே நிற்போம். நாங்கள் வேலை கொடுத்தோம்னா காசு பத்தெல்லாம் இருந்ததுங்க. உங்களோட பாஸ்போர்ட்ல வந்து அப்படியே ஃபில் பண்ண வருவாங்க. டிவியா சரி நீ வாங்கியாச்சு, டிவி முடிஞ்சு போச்சு. அது ஒரு வாஷிங் மிஷின். இப்போ கட்டிங் இப்போது கட்டணும். கவனிக்க எல்லாமே இவங்களாலும் நாங்கள் எல்லா ஊர்லேயும் இருப்பாங்க.
It's not just these possible customs violations which is worrisome. Experts believe that this increasing trend of Kurvi traffic could also lead to serious civil aviation safety issues.
The legal limit is 2 liters of hard liquor, and many of them carry much more than that. Whatever you buy in duty free is excess. So even if you assume that everyone's got 5 kilos or 10 kilos extra, which is normal, happening everywhere, that you, on a short sector, when you have a flight which is full, you are looking at landing with 2 tons more than the permissible limit.
And don't forget, so much inflammable liquor can only add to the worries in case of a disaster, which some experts believe was the case with the Mangalore crash, when some parts of the air deck burnt faster and more than it normally does. Some argue that the increase in Kuruvi traffic is due to tickets being available at throwaway prices, making it a perfect business proposition to traffic contraband. As a tourist destination, Sri Lanka has attractive offers for liquor sales. No wonder a group of young athletes fell prey to these handlers in August this year. So if it was heroin smuggling not long ago, it's booze today that has become quite a racket. With camera person Lucas and Raja Singh, Ramanathan for Ndtv-Hindu.
Well, now the BJP tides over a second challenge in Karnataka, but will these smiles last? Find out on the other side.